And we are live. Welcome to Ultra Podcast Z. Sorry for being late.
We're always late. We're on time in our minds.
Late for
Uh,
a very important day. Yeah.
I feel like you just like stroked out, struck out. No, stroked out. Struck out sounds weird.
Struck out. Yeah.
Let me put that word live everywhere because I'm stupid.
It's
Manuel, you're
okay. I apologize, guys. I don't know why. Like, I should always double check my setups, but this is the first time my setup literally was like, "Your mic is banned." I'm like, "How is my mic banned? What?"
Yeah, it
That
seemed
don't
like your
make
mic
no
was fighting
sense.
against you.
It was
the
everything on
mic
the
is
app was fine against
the mic offended your
Mhm.
your computer or whatever.
Mhm.
But
Maybe
yeah,
I
we
offended the
just
mic.
we just came back from some summer cons except for Josh, and we have some more summer cons coming up. So it's our summer
I like how you
conathon.
point out everyone except for me. Cool beans.
I know you didn't go to. Do you ever go to Fanime? I feel like I've seen you there at least once.
I was going there until about 2017 or 2016. I can't remember which one's exactly the last year that I had gone there. But no, I had
Yeah.
totally been there before. I've seen you there before.
Have you?
And
Was you the
JD
one who
went
took my
Game Boy.
picture at one of the panels? You
New
I'm
redeem on
big with
testing
Game
Yeah,
Boy.
hour.
I think yeah, I definitely do believe you had like a whole group of people there. I remember that.
See, okay, so it's funny you did that because I was trying to figure out who took this picture. Because I'm like, someone took this picture with a real camera, but it's not
Mhm.
me, and it's nobody. I like it, and the only person I remember being there was Stacks. I'm like, you know what? I think it was Josh, like a long time ago. But yeah, and I'm pretty sure it was you. It dawned on me after the fact. I'm like, because we sort of had our 10th anniversary at Fanime, like doing panels there, and
Mhm.
I was like, who took this picture? By the way, guys, you know what's kind of sorry, I'm just jumping into this, I guess. You know what's hilarious? I learned at Fanime, and now I'm like, have I seen this person at panels before, and I just don't remember in the in between years? But we have a fan from like year one. Isn't that wild?
Wow, okay.
Really?
Yes. So there was somebody sitting in they came to the I'm trying to remember which panel I did first. Well, I did the Aqua one. They didn't come to that one that I noticed. But they came to the Idol one. And I did that one on Saturday. Huh? No, they came to the Grow Metal one. They came to the Grow Metal one I did on with Warren on Saturday. And that's what I noticed them when they started talking about like, oh, I've been to some of your panels before, and et cetera. And I'm like, oh, okay. And they kept like not in a rude way, but they kept like throwing like, like little asides or jokes here and there when we were saying certain things. They even corrected me like twice when I fucked up during like a later panel. Um, but when
Hey,
I
that's my
was doing the
job.
idol, yes, and it got to the point when I was doing the last panel, which was like the one of the J-pop ones, when I couldn't remember someone's name, I just asked her in the front row. Uh, but yeah, when we were doing the idol one though, um, I was talking about the 10-year thing, and she was like, "Oh yeah, I was at that panel," and I'm like, "What?" And I was like, "Okay, she was at it. That's interesting." So I started flash forwarding and showing some of the sides, and like, this is before the panel started. Like she was already just sitting in the room, like the 15 minutes before we actually start, before I even started playing the attract video, and she was like, "Yeah," and that one girl was here, and she did that one song, "A Walking Maybe," which is talking about Molly doing this AKB48 song. Now the crazy thing about that was, back in the day, we used to have performances before our panels, and the
Mhm.
only reason that stopped is because the girls just don't come to them as often anymore, like Angie, Tiffany, or Molly. Funny enough, even when Molly would be on the panel, she kind of stopped doing that a long time ago. It just became like Tiffany and Angie. But anyway, when I was trying to convince Molly to come on the panel, we couldn't remember what song she did. And the only reason, yes, the only reason I eventually discovered it was because I found that picture and then I found the video for the panel, which still exists, by the way. But I would never put that up because it's kind of awkward. It's one of our very first panels ever. Just like, nah. Um, but we couldn't remember that song. But she did. This random fan. I don't know if I should call her a fan, but yeah, this random con goer or whatever. But yeah. And she went to all the panels. She sat in the front row, and yeah. And then when she was done, she's like, "Hey, you guys should get me to write for the site." And I'm like, "Please,
Please, yes.
please."
That's Manuel's main recruitment method.
Yes, and it's funny because I forgot to put that in the slides. I think I did mention it offhandedly a couple times, but usually I put it in the slides, like "Come talk to us afterwards" kind of thing.
Mhm.
I need to just put that in there. I wanted a funny, cool little flashy picture, and I asked Rose to make me one, and she said she's going to, but she did it in time for Fanime. But yeah. Anyways, I thought that was funny. We have a 10-year fan.
Yeah.
And now
10-year
I'm wondering
fan,
if they've been to, I wonder if they've been at panels like before and after, and I just never noticed. Because and she's in the picture. Well, mind you, it's the back of her head, but she's like, "That's me right there." And I'm like, "What the fuck?"
Very Mike Wazowski moment there.
Yeah, sorry, I'm coughing. I'm a
Wait,
little
is that
sick, but
the little thing from
You got COVID
Inuyasha?
from the Fanime.
Okay.
I got the Fanime the Fanime.
Yes, everyone knows it lasts 2 weeks.
It's funny actually because I kept making a joke about like how I don't really get sick at cons because I don't go on the floor that often.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, like usually when I do usually still mask up here and there. Like when I'm drunk, I forget. But like usually I do mask up, and I'm a lot more careful about sharing drinks with people these days.
Well, that's because you don't want anyone else drinking alcohol, Manuel.
I mean that too, but like pre-COVID, Manuel will be like, we're all drinking out of the same cup. We're all brothers, But now I'm like, ew, you're icky, But But somehow I got sick. I don't know. It's funny. I think everyone did. Well, everyone.
Mhm.
I think half of our group, like to hang out with us, got sick. So yeah, unfortunately. So yeah, it was a fun con. I don't know where to begin. Josh, let's start with you. What did you do that Memorial Day weekend?
That Memorial Day weekend, my amazing girlfriend unfortunately had to go and get her wisdom teeth removed. She was
Are
a
you
very big girl
serious?
and was very eager to also go to Fanime. She was feeling the FOMO. We were feeling the FOMO. We had to take her mom over to a casino in Fresno. And so we're on the 5, and she decides, ooh, let me take a picture of us on the road and said to Fanime, because technically, if we would have dropped her off, it would have been like a 2.5 drive from where we were, give or take, over to San Jose. And it was
Yeah.
funny because
Yeah.
people actually reached out to her being like saw her story, and I want to say like within like maybe 15 minutes or so, people were reaching out being like, "Oh, are you guys gonna come over and stuff?" We pretty much would only have made it for that Sunday evening, but I decided it would probably be best if we actually just went back into town because we were not prepared at all. We literally were we were like our fits were just loungy at just pretty much whatever we put on. We weren't in my car, we were in her mom's car. And then on top of that, my girlfriend was gonna probably get hangy. And she did get hangy as we went back into Bakersfield. So got food and then decided to watch Lilo and Stitch. So but we both feel it. We both we're really excited for the upcoming Hentai Matsuri. But
Yep.
yeah, no, she hadn't been to Fanime before, and I said it's really nice up there with the weather not being like super hot yet. In fact, the whole Bay Area doesn't necessarily have that particular heat. And everything's really close to each other. Like all the hotels are like right next to each other, and also pointing out where the party is going down over by ParkCon, as well as the Table Con, give or take, on like if they still allow people to like play on that table that's right in between the two buildings of the Fairmont, which also has a really really nice
Wait, they let people
pastry.
play on that table?
Yeah, people violate that table all the time. I saw people literally playing what's it called, beer pong out there, which I
What
didn't
the
know you
I
could play
think,
beer
fuck?
pong.
Josh, please watch your language. You're gonna give me Code Geass flashbacks.
No, it's
Wait,
fine.
really?
Beer pong, what the fuck? Like, fun fact though, in case you're
The phrase
in
violate the
case you're
table.
curious. Oh, viol. Oh, viol. Oh, oh yeah.
Yeah, you get it now.
Oh no,
So,
that was Table Coon that was violated by that horrible
Yes,
green-haired
yes.
girl.
No, she has black hair, but go ahead.
no, it's funny because
Not dark green,
Dark green,
not
maybe. Yeah.
ParkCon apparently got like pretty decently shut down Friday night. Yeah, apparently last year there were a lot of issues, which is funny because like to this day, I don't know what the fuck, and I said this before, like I don't know like if like Fanime, or not even, it's not even Fanime because Fanime does not sanction it. I don't know if the random the party types who run it have pictures of like the chief of police like kicking a dog or something. because the police like will not stop anything. It's hilarious because apparently they're all because this part's not so funny, but apparently someone died last year.
Oh my god.
But oh yeah, but apparently even before, like I guess after somebody died, the cops had to like kind of like, okay, maybe we should actually do some shit. And they're like, oh, then they discovered underage drinking and people selling drinks and without. I'm like, guys, that was there all the fucking time, and you literally were looking at it and not doing anything. Remember, I told you, like, it was always my joke, and I never did it, by the way. It was always my joke that because I used to hate when people would be like, "Oh, I'm going to ParkCon," but they wouldn't come drink with me, and I'd be like, "I'm going to call the cops on ParkCon." And then Rachel sent me that picture of the selfie next to the people selling drinks with the cops looking at them, and I'm like, she's like, "Don't worry, bro, they don't do shit," and I'm like, "What the hell?" It's like, okay. First of all, I don't know. Like, I actually foolishly thought that somebody got a permit for that. I don't know how one gets a permit to like destroy a park, but I thought somebody did. But no, apparently people just show up, and I'm like, okay, I don't know what goes on in San Jose, what kind of weird, like lawless city that apparently is. But if I went to my local park, even it's like small town, well, it's kind of small town, even if I went to LA, if I fucking started drinking in the park, I would get arrested. If I brought 10 friends with me and we started drinking in the park, we'd all get arrested. If I brought 100 friends in the park with me and we all started drinking, we would all get fucking arrested and probably get riot police on us. But somehow ParkCon didn't do shit. Nobody would stop it. And it's not like it was, it's not in secret. It's not like, you know.
ParkCon
Okay, but how
is
white are
a
they,
valuable
Manuel?
part of the Memorial Day weekend business. And
it's weird because it's not part of the con, you get a lot of like obviously not part of the con people.
it
Like
is true,
you get
but
some,
it also has a lot of the con people.
I don't know. It's always sketchy. It's always weird. I guess JD does have a point there. It skews heavily towards the white audience, so it's like, or at least the white passing audience. I should say more correctly.
I just
So
saw
it's like,
a video, now that you bring that up, about a black person who was doing Groundhog Day, and he kept on getting stopped by police all the time for any reason under the sun. And every time he tried to be sure that he wouldn't get shot dead, the police would always shoot him dead. The only cop who didn't shoot him dead was the black cop.
Okay,
I realized you meant Groundhog Day the movie, and
yes.
I'm like, whoa, that's kind of crazy. It's like he's just trying to find a groundhog, and he's getting like harassed by the police. Okay, that makes a lot more sense.
He keeps on trying to go to his mom's house, so he drives there, and no matter what he did, the cop would always change his reason for stopping him. And even if he tried to tell the cop that he was like, "Oh yes, I have my ID, I have my registration," and then later the cop's like, "Do you have a gun in the car?" "Oh yeah, I have a concealed carry," and then he would still get shot even if he had the legal stuff for it. So eventually he decided, "I'm gonna stop driving my car," but then a cop would walk up to him on the street and then start the whole process all over again.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
But yeah, none of that happened at ParkCon. But this year, apparently, they were being a little more hardcore, and they would chase off the food vendors, and they would make the music people close down. Apparently, they still would not go after anyone who was just drinking. But the idea was that like, if there's no music and nobody's selling drinks or food, they're gonna just leave on their own. What's crazier? If there's no permit, who the fuck is bringing the porta potties?
Like, was a porta potty there?
Yes, there always is a
I've
park
never
like,
seen porta potties there. That sounds so jank.
Like somebody's renting those and somebody's putting those out.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I would always just get a room at the Fairmont, so like it's right outside, but like at the same time, why would you need them there? There's literally hotels so close to each other. This ain't some AX like it's all down the street. I literally mean there are like 3, 4 hotels so close to each other. You could just walk in the front lobby, use their restroom right there.
I'm so sad because the Fairmont has taken over most of the not taken over. It is taken on more of the con's rooms again. Like first of all, it's not the Fairmont anymore. It's the Signia by Hilton.
It's called the Signia now.
Yes, and they got rid of the good half because it used to be the 2 towers. It used to be the 2 separate buildings that were connected by the bridge. The nice building is now dorms, and the bridge still exists, but it's blocked off on both ends, so nobody can even get to it.
Are you kidding me? That was the part of the fun of that hotel.
Yeah, And I used to love. Well, they used to always put. I think for obvious reason they would put most of the con people in that other building anyway. But I loved that other
Yeah.
building. The rooms were huge, and it was like it had its own entrance, and it was weirdly close to everything because it was closer to the actual con center, and yet it's still
Yeah.
part of the hotel. And anyway, they brought back video rooms. They brought back more of the fashion stuff, but they didn't bring the panels back there, and I don't think they ever will. Which is
Really? It's
sad
just
for
because they have
me.
really big ballrooms for them.
Because you really don't want to
Yeah.
leave the hotel, Manuel.
Yes, because they seem to like the idea, which does make sense. I mean, it sounds stupid they ever weren't there, but like Fanime doesn't have the panels in the. I mean, Fanime put the panels back in the convention center.
Really?
Yeah, the downstairs rooms that used to be registration and the video rooms are now the panel
Yeah.
rooms.
Really?
Yes,
Not
and now
even the
registration.
upstairs area behind, like adjacent, because there was a whole section of area that had panel rooms on the second floor.
It's yeah, those rooms are still like used by what they were always used for, like I think like karaoke and like I forgot what else, like the manga cafe and like stuff like that. Like the stuff no one ever goes to. I'm sure everyone
The hentai thing back there. I went to the screening back there.
Okay, well they got rid of that and they put that in its own hotel.
What?
It's all it's all, okay. They got rid of it at the con. It still exists, but it's all the way at the
Okay.
DoubleTree, the one by the airport.
Are you kidding me? They might as well have took it into the back and shot it
Exactly,
dead like Old
exactly.
Yeller.
Tell me about it. I don't know if you remember, but like when you used to go, there used to be another con that was called Clockwork Alchemy. It
Yeah.
was the Steampunk con. They technically were the
Yes.
same con because it would always be Fanime, Clockwork Alchemy. Even the schedule would flip. And like the badges, I mean, depending on where you got the badge, like picked it up, it was the same badge. But depending where you picked it up, I think even one year I thought it would be cute, so I got my badge from the DoubleTree, just so I can get the Clockwork badge instead. But they got rid of that con, and I don't know if they just had a crazy contract with the DoubleTree, but
No,
they did.
Steampunk died.
Oh yeah, Steampunk is so
Steampunk
fucking like
physically
2009.
died.
No offense if you're a Steampunk fan, but yeah, it's like
Yeah,
When
days
Chorus
over.
when Chorus stopped airing, everybody should have known that the time was coming.
But yeah, that former Steampunk Con hotel is now they call it the Oasis, and it's where all the 18+ stuff is. I would personally still go there, but my issue is that it isn't open till 6 p.m. And I am not fucking going literally to the other side of the town for fucking like that.
For just a
Yeah,
special
that's
badge.
that's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah,
if they
and
moved it over there, they might as well have killed whatever they moved over there.
The only reason I would ever go there is if for some reason I fucked up and booking a hotel and I had to stay over there because that's where the other hotels are by the airport.
I could see that being a reason.
Like if I was already stuck at the DoubleTree, I'm like, okay, if I couldn't get one of the downtown hotels, then I would pick the fucking DoubleTree because at least I get the fucking like the fucking anime titties downstairs. But yeah, every year actually they didn't try this year, but every year since the pandemic they've been back. They've tried to get us to do 18+ panels there, and I'm like, I am not going over there. Like hell no. Like fuck no. Like not even hell no. Like no. Like pay for my Uber both ways, and the Ubers are kind of expensive because that fucking con. Because nobody want like that. Actually, I probably just said that. Like pay for my Ubers both ways, and then I'll do it. Because I actually would want to go there. I just don't want to take that fucking shuttle.
I was gonna say, do they charter shuttles like Anime Expo does?
When we were at AX, we paid $10 per ride sometimes to get back to AX from the Westin.
Oh no, I've done that before too. Like especially the Westin. We stayed at the fucking Indigo last year for AX, and like that was a stupid distance. Like, and I don't mean it was a bad stupid. I mean it was a stupid distance. Like, in my opinion, it was way too close to call an Uber, which I still did, by the way.
Yeah.
But it was way too far to walk, in my opinion. It was a weird middle ground where it was so uncomfortable. Okay, not way too far, but it was too far to walk.
Yeah, I was fine walking it. I know Q and I did that, I think, first morning. I think we did that together. And then I guess I didn't really walk the whole distance when I met up with our friend, Mr. AJ Cosplay, who was there for doing press for ANN. But I walked them back to their hotel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, which was on the way. Then I took a turn towards ours. There wasn't like that much further away.
Well,
Or-
okay, if you walk from Figueroa, like from where the original pantry used to be, which is closed now, by the way, if you walk from that way, it's not as bad. But if you walk the other way, it's really sketch. Like if you keep walking past the Marriott hotels, it's like there's that weird block where it gets really ugly,
Yeah.
and then you're at the freeway and it gets kind of uglier.
Yeah. I took that route just because I think it was the shorter route.
It is a shorter route, but it's the worst one. Anyway. So yeah, JD, what was your Anime Boston like?
Yeah. So Anime Boston, this was my 6th time attending, I believe.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was.
Wait, you didn't go when you were in college? I thought you.
I did go when I was college. I only went my final 2 years.
Wait, how old are you?
I am 33.
Wait, how old were you in college? Did you start college?
I went to grad school.
I'm just
Manuel.
I'm older than
wait.
JD.
Do you have a master's?
Yes, I have a master's, Manuel. I've been over this. I have 2 degrees.
Oh,
Yes.
you're smarter than. I'm just kidding. I just thought that
Manuel,
was funny to
that should
say.
have been apparent from the game shows I run. Speaking of running game shows, Anime Boston.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah,
So,
I didn't know
yeah.
you had a master's though. Okay, keep going.
Yeah. I got there the day before. I had flown in on a red eye from California. So it was 6 a.m. I barely slept and I didn't know how I was still running. Got picked up by my friend, went to their place, took a nap that I thought was going to be about 2 hours. Ended up being closer to 5.
That's just a sleep, my dude.
Yeah, that's
not a
just
nap
asleep.
anymore.
Yeah, that went from sleep to, or from nap to full on just falling asleep. Showered, changed clothes, picked up my badge. That grabbed dinner. That was basically just day 0 for me. I thought I was going to do something more fun, but that wiping out an extra 3 hours was killed some plans.
You didn't get shit faced drunk in your hotel room?
I didn't have a hotel room. I was staying with a friend of mine.
Oh yeah, never mind. You already said that. Yeah.
Yeah.
You didn't get shit faced drunk at a friend's house.
No, Manuel.
Who I'm sure is living their own
My
life.
friend
and
drinks that much. And I had a con to attend the next day, and I was leaving at like 7:30 to make sure I got there.
Okay.
So yeah, day 1, you can go over all this in my article. I will link it in our YouTube upload. But day 1 was basically just going around the con, seeing what was there. Went to a bunch of game shows with my friends Nick and Ben, the Fishmen, as I call them, because that's their last name. And I like making the One Piece reference as well.
So do you want to hear a funny story about that? About
What?
you going with your friends?
Mhm.
So I think your con day 1 was actually we had the same day 1. Never mind. But we had already partied day 0 and day 1. We're already at the con and we're back in our hotel room. Don't ask me why, but that Friday was our Batman day. We watched like all the Batman movies on accident. We even watched all of the Batman like at midnight, and we were up to like 3 a.m. But
Yeah, I was
anyway,
about to say that's like a 3-hour movie, Manuel.
yes. I have a story about that later. But anyways, so we're sitting there watching the Batman drinking. Actually, we weren't drinking too much. We were drinking light because like we killed ourselves the day before. And at one point, Yuji's on her phone, and I don't know if you posted on Instagram or you posted it. It had to be Instagram. And she sees you posting a photo with you and your friends. When you're at the panels, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you know what she
Saturday.
said? Oh, okay.
Oh,
well, that
no,
makes
Friday
more
was
sense.
I meant that there's a picture of us from Friday. You're right.
Oh, no, okay, it was Friday then, because I was like, yeah. So, anyways, because we were sitting there, you know what she said?
What?
She's like, "Why does JD post pictures with us?"
Have you
like,
seen your
"We're not
hotel
his
rooms, Manuel?
friends.
I would not want to post
We're
a
not
picture
his
of that.
You got us all upset. There was a bunch of us in the room, like we were drinking lightly, watching like Batman Forever, and we're all like, "Yeah, he never posts pictures with us."
Generally, they take photos of me and I share them, not I take photos and then share them. I don't like taking photos of myself. It's just a thing. But if like someone takes a photo of me, I will share it most of the time.
No, you took that picture. There was a picture from your like you. It was a selfie. It was, like either somebody like someone took all 3 of you and they were not in the frame, but there was like a selfie of you 3, and we're like, you took that picture.
I need to go through my pictures and make sure which one you're talking about. But yeah,
But yeah, it was just funny that travel to San Jose to Fanime. We're like, what the fuck, man? What the fuck? I think we took a selfie too, and I think that might have been the one we posted. Because it was like, yeah, fuck it.
To be fair, Nick and Ben are 2 of my best friends, so There's a reason I post more with them, and I see them maybe. I guess I see you guys twice a year, maybe 3 times if I'm lucky.
Yeah,
as well.
see, we're over here
I see
like
you every week, Manuel. Essentially, sometimes twice a week, not always willingly.
Damn, that was funny though.
So
But
yes,
I keep going.
Opening ceremonies was nice. It's basically just everyone coming up saying, "Hi, I'm going to be here for how long? I'm from X from Y," that kind of stuff. Only like one I was super interested in was just Yuriko Yamaguchi, voice of Nico Robin in One Piece. Sadly, I lost the raffle to get an autograph from her, so my wanted poster will go unsigned for another year.
Nico Robin from I have not heard of. Oh, Nico Robin from One Piece.
Yes.
Okay. I don't know if this is if I made my own stupid little joke in my head. I thought Nico Robin was from Witch Hunter Robin. I'm like, I was going to say I haven't heard of Witch Hunter Robin in years. And I'm like, wait, oh, never mind. Nico. Okay, I keep going. I need to see if there's a character named Nico in Witch Hunter Robin.
Okay, so yeah, after that, I met up with Nick and Ben at, I think, Cosplay Bingo, which they attended, and that was probably the least exciting panel I've ever been to. I think someone, like, on staff might have signed up for it, and just, they were just running it to have, like, a panel at that time. It didn't feel that exciting. They just, like, put up a photo, you had to cross off things on a bingo board. It was very unexciting, so we basically left that as soon as it wrapped up. I think at that time, it was just, time for me to grab lunch, so I did that really quickly. And then it was just game shows for the rest of the day, essentially. I think I went to Anime Jeopardy, Anime Hollywood Squares, Anime Millionaire. What was the other one?
Why didn't you go to like panels?
I like going to game shows. You see the panels I run. You see the game shows I run when I have free reign on this stream. I run game shows. And since I wasn't the one running them actually this year, I got to play, which was a treat. Because I am so used to being the host on that and having to know everything and having to have everything prepared. So just getting to go up on stage and play was really nice. And then I ended up winning because I was the only one who could properly order the Sailor Guardians from Sailor Moon in order of their named body from closest to the sun to furthest from the sun. Because I watched through all the crystal. I know all of them by sight. And I know the order of my planets.
Do you mean order them just putting moon for Earth, or do you mean
like how far the body after which they're named is
Mercury,
from the sun?
Mercury, Venus.
Yes, but you also it's only the pictures of them, so you have to identify them by sight and say, "Oh, this is Sailor Mercury. She's closest. Venus is next."
Did you get bonus points for leaving out Pluto?
No, because it did not say specifically planets.
Because I was going to say it's like I refuse to put her up.
Yeah, so for that, I won $60 in Amazon gift cards, which I used to buy my new webcam. I'm using it right now, so I can't show it to you, but I can show you the box at least.
Oh, nice.
And I also won this figure of Itsuki Nakano from the Quintessential Quintuplets. My least favorite quintuplet, but still a great girl.
Isn't that the one Kaho's?
No, she was Nino.
Oh, okay, never mind. By the way, speaking of which, there's a Miho in Witch Hunter Robin. Did I remember that? No. I'm not going to pretend that I mistook that for Nico. Yes. Keep going.
Yeah. So it was that. And by the time I was done with Anime Millionaire, it was like, I don't know, 9:30, 10 o'clock. So I was like, I have a panel the next morning. I got to get going because it's a decent train ride and then another walk to get back to my friend's place.
That's far. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want me to keep going on to day 2, or do you want to talk about Fanime?
So, I'll interject with my thing.
Mm-hmm.
So Night Zero, we just partied. You can factor that in. But there was an interesting thing that I want to mention about our TV viewing habits, because I always put on streaming services.
Mm-hmm.
We had an issue with Tubi the entire fucking con, where if you put on I like Tubi not just because it's free, but because Tubi won't stop playing movies, if that makes any sense. Netflix will at some point be like, do you want to keep going? Or other services usually won't even keep playing a movie for whatever. Maybe there's an option I don't have turned on, but Tubi will just keep playing. I think because it's free and they just want to keep showing you ads.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if something was broken with my Tubi because I took off ads, or maybe Tubi just does this. It would keep showing the same 2 movies back to back, in reverse order every fucking night. And that first night, it kept showing. Tubi not to be. That first night, it kept. Well, actually, yeah, I think it was that first night. Kept showing Night Zero kept showing Tomb Raider, the newish one,
Oh, okay.
and League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Okay.
And like I kept waking up at the end of Tomb Raider, and like
I'll take two.
mind you, I was super drunk. Yeah, I was super drunk, and I'm like, why does it end with her buying guns?
Because she needs the
I didn't.
iconic pistols akimbo.
No,
It's
I
because
couldn't see.
in the game, what happens is that it's pretty much a big survival fest and trying to not get essayed attacked.
hmm
And
So
so
she
what
doesn't have
happens is
guns.
at the
No, she has
no,
guns. She
that's
just
why
never...
the majority of the game, she's not with her guns.
Yeah.
But then when you get to the very end on the
Yeah.
last mission, she gets both of her guns, like she's Deadpool when he pulls out his two guns, and it is the most glorious thing ever as you mow down everyone with the two guns, like you're back in the OG. And that's probably why in the movie they were like,
Yeah,
"Well,
so
have the chickens at the
I
very
woke
end."
up like twice during that, but the second time I woke up during it, it was like maybe like 5ish a.m. It was kind of light outside with the windows closed, and I'm like, oh okay, I think the movie's starting again. I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna like maybe I'll watch a bit of it before I go to sleep. And I'm like, okay, it has to be starting. She's going to the shop and buying her guns, and then it cut to credits, and I'm like, what is happening? That was so fucking annoyed. I was so annoyed. I was like so pissed. And then every time like we kept seeing League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, I kept bringing up the my little fun fact. It's like he was Aragorn.
You mean Book
Stuart
Avengers?
Townsend.
You're talking about Book Avengers?
Yeah, no, yeah, exactly. Like I'm like Stuart Townsend was the original Aragorn. Like until recently there was no footage of him, but I think they released some a couple years ago. Yeah, I'm like yeah. And like he sued them and lost somehow, even though he was like on contract. They just fired his ass. And it pisses me off because I know I'm going mildly off topic here. You want to hear my hot take about Lord of the Rings?
What's your hot take
You
about
can
Lord of the
tell
Rings?
you can tell which scenes they shot first because they shot the whole fucking series out of order because they're all shot at the same time. You could tell which scenes they shot first because fucking Viggo Mortensen is a fucking mannequin in some of his scenes and is suddenly a character in others. Like because
Oh,
he literally joined the movie like when they were already filming and they just started filming him the day he arrived. And I personally could tell, and it's funny because like you think I'm joking, but I used to be so obsessed with the series. I remember watching the audio commentaries, and they would tell, "Oh, this is the first scene we filmed. I think Viggo did a great job." And I looked at my friend, I'm like, "See, I fucking told you that was one of the first scenes they filmed," and it was true. I told him, it was like you could tell that fucking Viggo Mortensen doesn't know the fucking character, and he's also way too old to be playing Aragorn even back then. And it was like, oh, he's 80 years old. Yeah, but they age differently. He was supposed to still be a young-looking man. Because
oh
yeah,
my
somebody
god.
always comes with that. I'm like, yeah, he lived to be 100 and something, like 180 something.
Okay.
Anyway. So first day of Fanime. What did we do? I don't remember what we did in the morning. I think we ate a lot of breakfast, which sounds about right. And that was the day I had the fucking the Love Life panel. I was really worried about that panel because it was like a new one, and I feel like that panel had the weirdest focus ever. Like we wanted to talk about how important like the first two seasons of Love Live are, but I feel
Okay.
like we should have like
Do you mean
zeroed
seasons or
in on that
series?
series. I mean like Sunshine and Love Live and then Love Like Sunshine.
Okay. Because I believe both of those had two
Like
seasons each. So
yeah, series. The first two series is I think I said seasons in that. But yeah,
yes.
so anyway, wanted to focus on that and like have a little commemorative thing for like Aqua because they're disbanding. And I think that was a good focus of the panel, but I don't think that we wrote out the description and the panel name correctly for that. It was fine. People still came to it. We were the first panel of the day. We were in the biggest room that we had the whole weekend, and it was cool because it was the room that had a monitor where we could see our own like screen in front of us. We didn't need the fucking iPad the Kindle I always bring.
Mhm.
But yeah, like every first panel that I've ever done in my life, I always feel like the first panel is always a trial run because I don't really know how the timing's gonna go. I don't know the things that I'm like, oh, we should slow down there and do that better, or we should take all that out. But yeah, it was fun. Everyone seemed to like it, and it was great. I did some once arounds at the con. There wasn't too much to do. It was day one, and like I remember it being really empty, and I'm like, oh shit! It's like this con's gonna be a dead year. And everyone keeps saying that every fucking Friday of Fanime, and the lovely artist alley. Which I mean, lovely for the artist, and I like that it has this big window wall on one side, but it's always fucking stinky in there. It's like I am sorry, like I'm not one of those people who goes into like a con and like, oh, I smell the weebs, you know. But when you fucking go to the artist alley at Fanime, you can smell the weebs. I don't know what it is. I don't think it's the like. I don't know if that they just don't turn the AC on in that room. If it's because it's crowded, because it kind of is. Why are artist alleys always so crowded? Like I always feel like that's always an issue.
They're a big draw. They don't get enough space.
Yeah, exactly. Give them more room. This is a consistent issue at every convention that exists ever. Give them more room. Like we all know this.
Honestly, it might just be was it the traffic problem where if you increase space to try and ease traffic, more traffic will just come and make it worse.
Exactly. It gets stinkier. But yeah, it was really stinky. And our hotel room wasn't as fun anymore that second day because one of our roommates had like vomited everywhere. And we had kind of cleaned it up and we had bundled up all the blankets, but like we kept waiting for housekeeping to show up and they did it. And we're just like, do we call? And we would call and ask for shit. And we're like, this hotel's busy. I don't want to talk too much shit. It's like, it is what it is. And for the record, we never put the do not disturb sign on the door this weekend, mainly because we forgot. But we never put it on, and we're like, but I already had this plan ready. I'm like, okay, bundle up all the obvious vomit into the middle of this ball of other shit, and then just hand it to them, and then they can't pinpoint where the vomit came from. Even though now, whenever we do this, I'm always like, surely people vomit on beds, you know, in a hotel. Like, surely this isn't like, surely it's like, surely this isn't going to be an issue. But yeah, it was an issue. Nobody wanted to sit on that bed. Nobody wanted to sleep in that bed except for the person who like did the vomit, and even got vomit on the shirt, and it was terrible. It was terrible. Basically, we had half of the room we couldn't use.
Ready.
And then that night I was supposed to like all the girls were doing their Fanime, you know, nonsense. And we had the JAV panel. And that was a lot of fun. I wrote that panel like how do I put this? I wrote that panel to be more fun than usual. Because if anyone's come to it before, it's a very disgusting panel by the end. But this time, we kept all the disgusting stuff. I already decided we're going to show new disgusting videos, like in the future ones. But I'm like, okay, this is a lot.
Sound, Manuel, oh my god.
Trust. I don't think JD's ever seen the videos, but he's.
I have not. I've never been to that panel.
Molly went on accident one time, and she like almost cried, like literally. But so like I actually knowing that we were gonna stop showing disgusting videos, I edited new versions that like showed everything, showed tons of things. But the other parts that were like funny, because I had so many funny videos that would make people laugh, it was a lot more jarring when we got to the crazy shit. I'm like, wait, now I know why there was more crazy shit in the middle. Because now it just feels like, haha, we're having a good time. By the way, here's some vomit. Here's some piss.
I'm sure.
And then there you go. And then everyone just fucking gets all like, oh my god, people left. It was great. It's great. We pissed everyone off. Yeah, it was cool because Tiffany showed up to that one on time, which she didn't think she was going to. And there was some people who came to that panel, who came to panels later on, and that shocked me the most. Maybe because that one 10-year fan wasn't there from what at all, but she. I think because when she was being talkative in the later panels, that other people were like, "Oh yeah, I went to your Love Live one yesterday. I went to the JAV one." We didn't. I don't think I ever noticed the crossover between the JAV people and the music people until then. But yeah, it was fun, and that pretty much ended that night. Just stinky artist alley and 2 panels.
All right, then I'll move on to Anime Boston Day 2. So yeah, this was the day I actually had my panel.
Okay, fuck you.
What did I do to you?
Fuck you. Yeah, you know what you did?
What?
You attacked the killer tomato the next fucking panel.
Yeah, that there was a mistake on the website. Like, there's a discrepancy between what the website said and what the guidebook said. I went with what the people in the room told me.
You're a terrible person.
Yes, I know, Manuel. I feel very bad to the people who were after me. But going back to the start of this, my friend could actually make it this day because they had work the day before and other plans on Sunday. So my day started off with as it always does, breakfast at Dunkin' when I'm in Boston, because Boston. Yeah.
Yes.
And then it was Mada Mada Dane, 70 years of sports manga history panel, which was really cool.
I'm upset because not because of the chase too fast. We were going to interview like some people who were like in all the animes you mentioned from that panel.
Yeah,
like
I know, man.
voice actors
I
was,
wrote
like,
a note
all-
at the end of the question saying, "Hey, if you have time, tell this guy he's the lead in my favorite sports anime," and he did really well at that.
Rip. Anyway,
Yeah.
keep going.
So that was fun, informative, kind of tracking the arc of sports manga and where like certain series injected kind of the new vibe or became like the new normal or added in like tropes or character ideas that influenced other things. And then the ones that kind of just stood out. So there was like two of the earliest ones that I cannot remember for the life of me at the moment, but that it's like like the early shoujo volleyball one. We see some of the other ones that kind of influenced the genre we saw, where Prince of Tennis just hit it huge, where Haikyuu and Yowamushi Pedal kind of influenced like the new generation. Yuri on Ice was definitely mentioned there, and my favorite, Big Wind Up. So that was a lot of fun to see. It definitely got me wanting to see Yowamushi Pedal just because of one scene where they're like trying to keep pace and they're singing a very funny song. I just want to see that more in context. After that, same room was Weakest Weeb, the weakest link, but anime, except not really the weakest link, other than having people answering questions within their time limit. There was nothing else like the weakest link. Like, it wasn't a team voting each other off every so often. It was just, how many questions or anime questions can you answer in like a minute and a half? One of my friends got to go up. He did it. He managed to get third place overall in the first go, and they did the final three head to head for like prizes, and he managed to get second. Then that's just really funny because he would like save time. If it was like a true or false question, he would just go pick one and just hope you got it 50-50 style. Or if he was just running out of time and didn't know, he would just yell "me" if he was asking for like a person.
That sounds terrible.
Yes, but he was like, I'm not going to get it because there's not enough time, but might as well be funny. So that was fun. They were also in the room before me, so I was like, hey, cool, it's nice to see you. Gave them some advice about one of the questions. Hosts were kind enough to give me 3 Rice Krispie treats that I used as prizes for my panel, which brings me to my panel.
Why do you never bring prizes?
I didn't know if I was going to be supplied with prizes or not.
Are those Rice Krispie treats?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, turn your mic's off. Your mic's off.
Yeah. So.
It is Rice Krispie treats.
I like Rice Krispie treats. Keep going.
Yeah. So my panel, if you've seen the multiple versions of Anime Connect that I've run here, I'm pretty sure I used all the questions that I've used before there. So luckily no one else had, because I managed to stump them more times than not. Like same format, but now I actually had the connecting wall working on an iPad app that I developed. So I could be like, oh, here's the iPad.
You developed?
Yes, I developed it. You know, my 2 degrees are in game development, right, Manuel? I can make an iPad app pretty quickly just using Unity.
One can develop apps?
Yes. Are you just playing stupid right now, Manuel?
No, I'm being serious. Like, is it on the iTunes, whatever the store, the Apple store, the App Store?
I mean, you use I use Unity. I port it to an Xcode project. I open it in Xcode on my MacBook, and then I export it to my iPad. You have to have like a license for it. I have one through my old school that has never been deactivated, so I just keep using it until they take me off it. If anyone sees this, thank you. I understand if you're about to take me off of it.
Yeah, your school's gonna take you like. Keep going. That's crazy.
Yeah. So I could just and because I could hook it up through my iPad and I had a very long USB-C to Lightning cable, I could capture it in OBS and throw it up on the projector behind me so everyone could still watch it, and I could record it for the video. So that was cool, and I was worried that the connecting wall round was going to be the most boring thing because it would just be the two teams like flailing about on a wall for 3 minutes each. But according to my friend who was actually at the panel, that was probably the most fun round, just because like people were playing in the audience trying to figure out what the 4 categories were, like what the 4 entries in each category were. So they had a lot of fun. I'm going to keep that around. Like I said, I thought I had more time than I did, so I ran 2 games instead of just 1. Next year, if I only get the hour time, I'm going to run 1 game and then just going to have like extra walls for people to play to kill time at the end.
You're a terrible person.
Yes, I'm working on the video of the first game, but my GoPro died about 5 minutes before the end of that. So I have up to the like second part of the final round. Luckily, thanks to my friends who were there and my own notes, I can tell which team won, and I can just kind of make an outro of that video saying, yeah, sorry, GoPro died. Here's who won. Here's what the other topics were. Next time, I'm just going to use my iPhone. If anyone needs a GoPro, contact me.
Yeah, it's funny because like we were talking about this all con. That I think, did I tell you this? I don't know if I told you this already. This is kind of related to that. That for future interviews, because like my camera's getting really old, and like, well, I mean, it's not that they're getting old and worse. It's that they're getting old and even more outdated. That I'll probably still put a camera on the top of like the tripod, but then I'm gonna get like a phone attachment mount, which I already have, and just put it in the middle and film it. Then film it with someone's iPhone, whoever has the most recent one, like either you or like
15 Pro Max right here.
Oh, then you, and then like just pretend that that's a backup, and then we just use that.
I mean, I use that for a Kaho interview. I use that for games at other conventions. It's a really good camera.
Did you see the thing about how I mean, I don't know if it's that same iPhone or a newer iPhone or whatever the fuck. You said the thing about 28 years later is using the iPhones.
28 iPhone or like so many iPhones just all around. Yes.
Yeah.
I think they did that on the original too. So it like gives it a different feel. I guess is what they're going for.
I know that's for I know that's for like a special shot or whatever. But if a big budget Hollywood, well, it's not giant budget. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If a big budget theatrical release can do that, then we could definitely use iPhones for the interviews.
I mean, they also have like professional lighters, cinematographers. You know,
shut up.
People whose jobs like have been working this for decades. I assume they know how to make anything look good.
We'll make it look good.
I think wasn't Nora the best picture for last year also shot on iPhone? I know he's done other pictures as well, because I discussed this in our episode of Reading the Wrong Way on Tenmaku Cinema.
Yeah, because I was talking about this with Rose the other day, and Rose was like, "Did you not pay attention when JD brought that up on Tenmaku Cinema episode?" And I'm like, "I remembered it, but I didn't put 2 and 2 together, so I guess no, I was not paying attention."
Yeah,
but yeah, keep going. So day 2.
I ran a second game. It went over by like 15 minutes. So once again, apologies to the people after me. I didn't mean to do that.
You bastard.
Yeah, I will not repeat that mistake. So after that, it was quick lunch, and then I had to get ready for our one interview panel that we had. The other one that had been scheduled got canceled just because the artist had scheduling issues, but it was with Blue and Count, so that's gonna be fun. It was just me and Seth from Anime Herald in the room asking questions for about the full hour we had. We went a bit over that as well, just because I had a few final questions that they took a bit to answer.
At that point, split you guys up and give you half hour each, but okay.
Yeah. I mean, I think we did it well. We built off each other's questions sometimes. Like I would ask about their favorite anime. He would like pick something out of that. I would ask another one about like one of his favorite anime, and we'd expand on that. I think we worked pretty well together. I think he's just a very skilled interviewer. He had like all the knowledge of their previous interviews and was asking like follow-ups to the things they had said before.
No, that wasn't me saying you're not. I'm saying like, why would you say that about someone else?
Because
like, he was also... No, I'd be like, if that was me saying it, like, he was also a skilled interview.
Yes.
Anyway.
So I'm hoping to have that transcribed by end of the week, end of next week. It's just going to depend on what my schedule looks like for editing and recording here. And then we just have to go through like confirmation cycles. I didn't get a card from anyone to contact, so I'm probably going to have to ask AB press coordinators.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's going to be a lost interview. I'm sorry.
You set up. We'll just put it up.
Yeah. Like no one handed anything, so I have no idea. Yeah.
No, it's always my rule of thumb too. If we try and we still can't reach anyone, then we just assume they gave us carte blanche when they just didn't give us
Mhm.
anything.
Yeah.
That's happened to me too.
Yeah.
If they say no, that's another story.
Yeah. And
But,
because we went overtime,
Yeah.
then my last thing for the day was the masquerade, the cosplay contest. I was really late to that. I think I missed all the actual like craftsmanship judging and only made it in time to see the skits. But there were some really good skits, especially in
I
their
saw
higher divisions.
The Living Dead.
Little Kingdom of Horrors.
There you go.
Yes, where Peach plays the role of I think it's Seymour. I haven't seen the musical version, so I assume it's Seymour in that scene, and Aubrey too. Is a piranha plant?
Audrey,
sorry. Yes.
yes.
And Bowser playing their victim.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like the one that beats on Audrey? The real? Oh, wait, that's kind of okay.
Yeah, like
if you've never seen it, that actually
yeah,
happens.
he comes into the shop. He's just a terrible customer, and they said, "Yeah, we're gonna kill this guy and feed him to the plant."
Right.
Yeah. But without, I guess, Mario playing the role of Seymour, it's just combined with Peach and Audrey.
So just to get real fast to my second day, because we're out of time, I want to make sure we move over time. So I want to preface my first day thing real fast because we partied so hard night 0. I actually didn't drink that much day 1. So I was pretty sober when I did the Love Live one. And then I was 1000% sober when I did the JAV one, which is very unusual for me. An 18 plus 10 o'clock panel. I showed up 100% sober. And I was even telling everyone in the audience, like, guys, it's the first time I've ever done this panel, like, feeling sober and feeling good. Technically, I did it one time sober, but I felt like shit. But I'm like, you guys are getting, this is the normal manual experience. This isn't like me going to say off the wall shit or like, or embarrass myself accidentally. But anyways. So the next day, I brought that up because the next day is not like this. So the next day, I don't think I went to the con at all before the panel. Oh yeah, because I felt like shit, and that was the night we watched the Batman until like 3 or 4 a.m. By the way, like at the end of the Batman, when it turns into like fucking incel army or whatever, I'm like, if I was in the fucking theater when that started happening, I would leave.
Why do you want a Yu-Gi-Oh! Hello Kitty Happy Meal?
They made boxes for that. I never saw that box.
Also, why is it Yu-Gi-Oh! Hello Kitty or Sanrio? I guess
I haven't seen an actual theme Happy Meal box since my youth.
Okay, anyway. Josh's mouth isn't moving, so he hasn't muted his mic accidentally.
He muted it accidentally. He's probably been talking this whole time. We've been ignoring it. He thinks we're ignoring it.
Yeah, his mouth wasn't moving. So unless he's a very good ventriloquist.
So anyways, so the next day, I already decided we were still drinking during the whole Batman and whatever. And we were drinking till like 5 a.m. And I already planned that I'm going to just sleep in. We're going to get late breakfast. My panel's at 4 with Warren. I'll wait here for him. We'll go down together. Warren shows up around 2. And I haven't seen Warren. Actually, I've seen Warren in person kind of recently, but like I don't see him too often. So it's like, of course, me and Warren get fucking wasted. We get fucking shit face wasted.
Of course you do, Manuel. That's 90% of what you do at a convention.
And it was funny because previously we were discussing it with his new girlfriend, Kuro Frills. You might recognize her. Well, I don't want to dox her, say her real name in case I don't know if she ever has. Well, he says it, Alana. So, anyways, and so she's like, guys, you guys are drinking this much? You have a panel soon. And everybody was going on about like, and it was funny because I didn't say this myself. Everyone else is kind of like gassing me up. It's like, no. Manuel somehow will lock in. It's fine. He'll lock in. So flash forward to when we start going through the panel.
Narrative voice, he did not in fact lock in.
Yes. So the pressure was on me. And I was all like, oh my God. I didn't lock in. They're all expecting me to lock in. I didn't. Okay. The panel was fine, but like I was so out of it. I was like, no. Okay, honestly, if they had not said that, I probably would have locked in because I do that. I do that. But the fact that the pressure was on, and I was just like, no, I can't do this. But like, of course, like anything I do, I did sober up by like the halfway mark, just out of sheer height, drinking a lot of water and like dying. So like I recovered enough. The second half of the panel was fine. It was a little too long again. I don't know how we keep doing this. But it was cool, and a lot of people like that panel. I already have new ideas of how to like make the next one better, like always. I don't know when we'll be doing it again. Maybe LA Comic Con, but yeah. Then we went back to the. I think we wandered the con a little bit. No, we didn't. We went to the hotel room. That was the next day, and then just drank the rest of it. And that was some other nonsense. I like how all my stories, like I did a panel that I drank.
Yeah, Manuel. Once again, 90% of your con experience.
So yeah, okay. What was your day 3?
Yeah, so final day of Anime Boston.
Hold on.
Sorry, Josh, you have
I
an
had a
interjection
day
here?
2. I
Oh, what
went
was your
to
day 2?
Bakersfield or Bak-Anime day 2.
You did.
That was the same
Yes.
weekend? Really?
Yep, that was just the last weekend.
Oh, what the fuck? Okay, Ivan usually goes to that, so I guess that's why he didn't this year.
So me and my
Bak-Anime.
amazing waifu went as dress up darling. I was
Mhm.
Gojo in the summer festival outfit, and she was cheerleader Marin. And it was hot. It was not as bad as the day 1 that we skipped because we heard that that was going to be 105 degrees or more.
Can't blame him
So
for
we
that.
were like, yeah, not touching that. And so we get to the con, and it's pretty okay, but at the same time, the heat's not necessarily the most fun thing, and we actually went more so to shop. So it was really nice seeing some cool people that were selling things. Ran into some vendors that we like saw at other things, so we bought my dress up darling stuff from. We had tarot card reading, and it was
Oh shit.
awesome. And then, or rather, maybe before, we bought so much My Dress Up Darling merch. We have 4 more statues, and they are awesome.
Oh shit, that's cool. You actually had a whole. You had a lot more. I mean, don't get me wrong. Thankfully, my con experience does get a little more interesting later on. But yes. So how was your final day of your con? I actually had 2 more days than mine, but I'll sandwich
Yeah,
them
so
together.
Day 3.
of Anime Boston. There's never really much. I was worried I was going to get disstaged because I was a new panelist hosting a game show that I didn't think was going to get anyone. So when I filled a room on Saturday, I was like, yes, please invite me back next year if I can actually make it.
Oh yeah, you. Hopefully you do. I saw,
Yeah,
I saw
if
your
someone could
article.
pay me
Your
back, I could
article has
probably
a
have the
weird
money to
downer
afford
at
the
the end.
flight.
That's good.
But I'm not
that
going
people
to
were
point any
there.
fingers, but
Oh, what you trying to say? What you trying to say?
okay. So
It
yes,
makes
day
you-
3. Same deal. I was running solo again for this day. I went to the charity auction. I had only one thing there that I knew that I wanted to get, and that was like a clamp merch bundle from one of their exhibits in Japan that I missed. But I also knew one of my friends who would be bidding through a proxy really wanted it as well because she's the friend who got me into clamp. So I'm also the guy. If you go there, I'm the guy who's doing all the like the chants that we do when we get to every like interval. It's like 50, 100, 1,000. I'm that guy who's doing that without caffeine in his system, just on sugar from Dunkin' Donuts.
He is raw dogging it that way.
Yeah, I don't like to taste the coffee. I can't explain it. So
yeah, it's funny. No, just real fast. Like I did get coffee usually got me coffee one of the mornings, and she's like, "What do you want?" Like from Starbucks, and I'm like, "Whatever the closest thing to a shake they have." That's the only coffee I'll drink. It has to be like a shake, you know,
yeah,
like a chocolate, which is like a weird mocha, not mocha, weird coffee undertaste. I think it is mocha. But keep going.
yeah. So like the first thing is first, just because they want to get the artists back to their tables, is the Artist Alley like first pick table for the next year. That went for $4,000, $5,000. It's always a very high. But my friend says that they will basically make it back day 1 if they are well positioned and have good art. So it's well worth it to get a guaranteed table. They did a similar thing for AB Ultra membership for next year, and that was the one my friend Ian won because this was the first year they introduced AB Ultra, just like the premium pass. You get like expedited tickets to events, expedited access to security, 15-minute head start in like Artist Alley and vendors. So, and like a lounge you can chill out with when it was charged. It's apparently worth it according to them, but it's like an extra $125 on top of the pass. So, and he paid more than that to get a guaranteed copy for next year. Yeah. And then a lifetime regular pass went for about $2,500, which is what it generally goes for. So prices keep going up, it's only going to take like 15 years to get there to pay off. So hopefully we'll be at Anime Boston.
Lifetime
30, yeah. Or not Anime Boston 30, 35, 40. I don't know exactly where it pays off at the current scale. But yeah, then finally the clamp like merch came up. I only had about 200, so I decided to lead with that, just rip off the bandage because I would see how much the other people were willing to pay. It went up to 1,050. My friend didn't win it. Like the people sitting next to me did. And I was like, wow, okay, I did not expect it to go for that much. Actually, they're also...
I wouldn't have either. Holy cow.
There are also other really cool things. There are like merch signed by either the guests from this year or guests from past year. And they must have a really good relationship with like the Avatar: The Last Airbender creators, because they always have like some comic or art book signed by them with little drawings. So if you ever want that, please let me know. I will try and win in the auction for you. Just give me a price you're willing to pay. But yeah, it's a lot of fun at like 9 a.m. on a Sunday. I'd say, especially seeing some things show, and some things are complete steals, like a signed like cute posket of Shinji by Casey Mangillo, new voice of Shinji in the Netflix dub, went only for like $30, which is probably less than it would cost you to get the autograph at their table. So yeah,
I remember there was one fucking what was it? There was a auction. Shit, I don't know, you just said the fucking word. At this con I went to, and they were auctioning off some Monkey D. Luffy One Piece. And Luffy, fucking who cares? And it was autographed by like the fucking voice actor person.
Colin Clinkenbeard or
I don't remember, but I won it. Okay, I'm gonna get to there. So I won that for $8, which not only was like less than like the autograph or whatever, it was probably less than what the Funko cost.
Yeah.
Do you still have it, got it for a friend of
no, okay.
I got it for a friend of mine, and I took off the autograph because she asked me to.
Okay.
Like I got rubbing alcohol and I took it off. Yeah. She's like, is there any way you can take off the thing? And I'm like, you know what? Yeah.
When you did that, there were scalpers who
were just
started
crying
to feel their like bones shake and like their hearts were like skipping beats. They're like, something's happening. Someone take it while you wait.
Josh, that would require them to have hearts. They're scalpers.
Yeah, I gave it to a friend anyway, but she didn't want to open it, but she didn't want the autograph on it. So I'm like, I could probably take it off with some rubbing alcohol, and I just rubbed it off. Because she signed. Thank God. I guess I don't know who the fuck had signed it. They said the name. I never saw. They were probably at the con. I did not see them, but they signed on the little plastic part in the front, not on the cardboard.
Yeah.
So I just alcoholed it off, and it came right off.
Yeah, I'm going to assume it's Colleen Clinkenbeard Carroll who signed it.
It probably was. There definitely was a C in the name.
Yeah.
Because I remember seeing it. Yeah, anyways, keep going.
Yeah, so after that, I wandered around vendors with my friend Ian for a bit. He wanted to check out some stuff. I think he had a friend working one of the booths. But I just wanted to pick up some con merch, so I got these two pins. Let me see if I can get them in focus.
Nice.
This one is the AB pin for this year, and this one is last year's pin. $9 for the both of them, which makes Anime Expo's pins, even if they are like twice the size, feel a lot more like expensive to me. I like getting these little pins for cons, and yes, I'm away from the mic. I'm sorry. Let me repeat that. I like getting these little pins for cons just because they're a memory and they're very simple. I can just put them on a board like I'm staring at it right now. I just pick them off and I put them back on. Then I left him without saying goodbye because he was in the middle of talking to his friends and I wanted to get to my next panel. I'm sorry, Ian, if you're watching this.
You're a terrible person.
Yeah. I saw him again at the end of the con. I think he understood. I told him there was another panel I wanted to go to after that. I think he understood where I went. But it was from Gum to Gundam, Anime Funding Through the Years, which was another history panel that I really liked. Kind of dry if you're not really looking for like an informational panel. But it was interesting seeing like the direct sponsorships turn into like the advertising, into modern production committee and merchandising, and how streaming is being incorporated into that now, and how the like Kickstarter trend kind of came and went with Little Witch Academia. There are a few other things that have like succeeded, but nothing like no major shift in the industry. So that was fun, but because I wanted to get to closing ceremonies, I had to duck out of the Q&A. So my apologies to the panelists. I wanted to see closing ceremonies, which was also really nice because, like opening ceremonies, it's just the guests kind of coming out to say goodbye. The hosts talk about how the con is gone. There's like a montage of things. They announce whatever theme they're doing for next year, which I believe is something like, I guess it can't be helped because this year was looking forward to it.
Huh.
Yeah, but my favorite, Yuriko Yamaguchi, came out. She was after the karaoke contest winner, and so she said, "I want to sing too." And she started singing "We Are." I was singing along like from the start, but as soon as it got to the part where it goes One Piece, like half the audience was also in on that. So that was fun. And I had to look over to my two friends, Dick and Ben, who love One Piece but only read the manga. I was like, was that someone important from One Piece? I was like, that was Nico Robin. And
wait, never mind.
Yeah, for the formatting of
it's always One Piece.
Yeah, of the closing ceremonies. For whatever reason, they did like a thing, like the video. They put credits after it, and so there are a bunch of people are getting up to leave, while other people are like, "Don't they usually play the AMV winners here?" And so it was like, yeah, we all just assumed it was going to be afterwards because we hadn't seen it yet, and it's apparently a yearly tradition from what I've seen at closing ceremonies. So yes, it was basically the after credits scene. And there were some really good AMVs. I liked one that I think it was just called Corn, which is set to the song Corn from Shocked, if you know that musical. It was apparently a Tony winner on Broadway.
Okay, I was thinking of a different Corn.
Yeah. No, not the band Corn.
Too. No, I was thinking about different Corn, Shocked entirely.
Yeah.
Like Corn Shucker.
Mm-hmm.
So Manuel? You already know. Josh knows what I'm talking about.
Okay. So yeah, that one was
Corn
fun.
Shucker. I didn't see anything else.
Yeah, Manuel, that just coming out of your mouth, it sounds dirty.
It is. The song is very dirty. But anyways, let's move on.
Yeah. So that was it. Nick, Ben, and I ended up sitting in front of one of our friends from college. So we talked to her for a bit in like that, but we didn't want to disturb people, so we talked a bit more after ceremonies. Got to meet her new wife and her best friend, so that was fun. After that, we went out for Nick, Ben, and I went out for food with Nick's wife. And that was basically the end of Anime Boston. I spent the next day just going around Harvard because I was getting taiyaki at a place near there. And then I went to Harvard Yard, found the Statue of Three Lies. If you've seen The Social Network, took a picture of that because it's one of my sister's favorite movies. And that was my time in Boston.
You almost stayed away from weeb food until the taiyaki. I hate you.
Okay, it was a recommendation from a friend of mine. It was a recommendation from Ghosty.
Oh, okay. So anyway, I went. So the next day, I only really had 2 panels, and there was some nonsense with the press interviews. I won't get into that actually at all. But this was the press day. But I was not going to be involved with that at all because it was during my panels, and it just went to shit. So don't look forward to those interviews, which I never announced anyway, so I didn't have to say it at all. But the first panel I had was the Idol panel at noon, which was the 10-year anniversary, the 10-year anniversary one. I already mentioned that story at the top of the show where that's where the one girl at the front of the audience is like, "Oh my god, I was there!" Like, and you did Iwaki maybe. Well, I didn't do it, but Molly did Iwaki maybe. And I'm like, how the hell does she remember that? We couldn't. But that panel was fun. It was also a badly timed one on my part. I mentioned this in one of the A to J chats. That panel was a chore to write. I'm not used to covering such a wide period of history. I've literally done like panels on certain sections of that panel for 90 minutes on their own. So it was hard to condense it all. Like most of the writing was me writing a ton of shit, realizing I couldn't talk about this, and either reducing it to a sentence or two or just taking it out. And that was so disheartening. I was just like, I was so done with this panel by the time I was about to do it. And as a matter of fact, I knew it was too long. Not too long, but I knew it was going to be too long anyway. I'm like, I'm not cutting anymore. I'm just fucking figure it out. So it was fine for what it was. I was surprised nobody cared that I went as fast as I did. Everyone still seemed to like it. Mm-hmm. But now that I'm done with it, now that I've stepped away from it, I'm like, okay, I know exactly what to cut out to tighten it. So the next one will be better. So yeah. Then I had a little break. Then I came back for the J-pop 60s, 70s one, which I was surprised. I was in the tiniest room, to be fair, but like it filled the room for that one, and I was like, what the fuck? And that one was a crazy good panel because like there were people okay, that one, I'll admit, I locked in for that one. Like, mind you, I was a shit-faced drunk. Like, I locked in, and like out of somehow, like I was drunk though, but I wasn't like shit faced. But like,
Drunk.
I did that panel like somehow. I didn't realize I knew all that info, but out of nowhere, like that, everything I'd written and remembered and wanted to say came out. There was time for questions at the end, and most importantly, and it's funny, like I kept telling them there was some people who were sitting off to one of the sides, more than one, and they were not together, who were taking pictures of every slide as I went through it, and I'm like, oh well, you could do that, I don't care, but like if you want to wait, uh, the, you can go to the website and have the slides there. And I hope they found them. But what's funny is when I said that one of the times, somebody in the audience was going on the site. They're like, I can't find anything on the site. And it was so embarrassing because like it's in the middle of the battle and there's this guy's like so confused and I'm like, and I realized how stupid this sounded. I'm like, okay, you gotta click on the more option, you gotta go to other things, and you gotta go to panel archive. He found it. I mean, the site was working, by the way. Thank God it was working. I remember ALA that we were having site issues that were not my fault, but we were having site issues where it just was down for a while. Server bullshit. I should ask for money back for that. But anyway, the fuck, he just couldn't find it because like the navigation's so wonky, and I'm like, I gotta fix that. That was embarrassing. But the panel was good. Everyone liked it. I talked about Pink Lady in that one, and because I talked about Pink Lady in the Idol panel too, I wanted to make the Pink Lady from the 60/70 one different. So I showed a clip from the Pink Lady and Jeff show.
Mm-hmm.
And now I kind of want to do a whole panel just on that show because that show is wild. It not only is it a interesting aspect of Japanese, U.S. like pop culture moments, but like I watch that show and it's one of those things where, don't get me wrong, it's not like I'm not going to come out here and say like, oh, it's actually really good. It isn't, but it's not as bad. It's not as bad as you think it's going to be. Also, Jim Varney's in it, and no one ever talks about that. He was a cast member of the show, a pre-Ernest Jim Varney. That's probably why. A pre-Ernest Jim Varney. And in case you don't know who Jim Varney is, he's Ernest,
Also was the
Anyway.
Slinky, right? From Toy Story?
Yeah, the Slinky. Exactly. So yeah, hey Vern. I don't know what the fuck he says. Hey Slinky. I don't know what the fuck that Slinky dog says. But anyway, so that panel was great. It was really cool. I hope everyone. I can't wait to do that one again, even though I don't really. Part of me feels like I'm almost done with that panel. Not because I don't want to, but I want to do the '80s one again. I want to do so many other panels, and just like, I wish I could just. I'm like, I should do these. I should do videos. That's what I should really fucking do.
Yeah, I've been telling you that for years,
But,
Manuel.
Videos are definitely fun.
I'll get on that. I'll get on that. Anyway, so I'll go and cover the next day because they kind of have all kind of segues into each other.
Mhm.
So we have one more day at Fanime. By the way, this day in between the two panels, we go back to the room and housekeeping cleaned the entire room.
Cleaned it, huh? Finally.
All the
huh?
vomit was gone. All the blankets were changed. Everything was fresh. We were so embarrassed because, like, oh my god, they saw all the furry dockies that we hang up. We have some 18 plus, we had them hanging everywhere, and like I'm like, oh my god, it's like, so we gathered some money together, like some cash, and we gave, because she was still cleaning all the rooms. Like we weren't gone that long. We were gone for one panel. We came right back. So we knew who it was, and like we gathered a bunch of money together, and we gave her like a big ass tip, like, here, go run out and give this to her. And we gave her a tip, and it's like, oh, I'm so embarrassed.
That's
Well,
good,
not only
that's
were
good, you gave a
embarrassed,
tip.
not only the embarrassment, but also she cleaned it really good, and because we didn't. Okay, the first day when we wanted them to come change the sheets, we kind of pre-cleaned the room so that we
Oh my
wouldn't look too
God.
crazy. But
Who is
the
it?
room. Oh yes. Oh, how'd you find that?
Because you
Molly
were talking about
performing
someone
it.
who had taken the pictures, so
Oh, it's you. Is that you?
it was me.
See?
Wait
See?
up,
And
wait up, everyone! Get
where's that
ready for
picture?
baby Manuel. Get ready.
That picture. I don't even have that picture.
Look, here he is.
Yeah, that's me. I
Manual
look so
for the
young and
boomer
full
hit
of
him.
life. Fun fact: I was still in
Yeah,
my.
Josh,
I was
send
in
me
my
those pictures. I'll put them
Better
in higher
life.
quality in the edit.
Yeah.
I was in my late. I think that's the audience member, by the way, the one that you kind of like in the pink shirt, the one you're like zeroed in on in the corner. No, that's the one who came 10 years later.
Okay,
But yeah,
here's the
Yeah,
full
Josh.
picture. I just want to zoom in on him since like
I didn't know
I
you
had
had a picture of
of
the
the other.
performance. I don't think I've ever seen that picture before, by the way. I mean, I'm sure I have, but I didn't save it or however I got it. But yeah,
That
it's
might
funny.
only be the only two actually.
Yeah, but that picture is the one that we walk in, maybe, by the way. But yeah, so, but we didn't pre-clean the room this time, so she saw it totaled, and she still cleaned it. Like there was trash everywhere. Everything was unmade. There was like, and she cleaned the fuck out of it. Oh my god, Oh, we're waiting for a line for the concert. Damn.
Yeah, your concert line.
So yeah, the
I
last
think I have to
day.
like zoom it back a little. Hopefully, like around there or something, it should look a little better. I don't know, but yeah.
The last day I actually went to the con and like I bought a few things. I went to this artist booth. His name is Stitched Mind. Do I have I don't feel like I forgot to grab it. I'll give JD a pic to put in later. But here's his card. His name is Stitched Mind. We will be interviewing him soon. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. I got a lunchbox. It was a blind bag, and it was funny because there was a lot of cool shit in it. I gave the shirt to Yuji because I'm like, okay, it's a fucking like it was like a medium shirt. Like there's no way it's gonna fit me. And Rachel's like, you could cut it into a patch, and I'm like, no, here Yuji, you could just have it, you know. But there was a lot of other cool shit. There was a lot of stickers, a lot of like there was a shot glass, there was like some pins and other shit of like Erogudo adjacent art. And the lunchbox itself is like this girl's head in a fucking ramen thing. I'll have a picture for it. Anyway, and besides that, I went to this other artist booth who's like she's like a big titty anime artist, like artist alley person. And
As they do.
I bought stickers from her last year and I lost them. And I've been like tracking her down like for the past year. I can't remember her name. I'll have JD put it up there. Uh, I've been tracking her down for like the past year, and I could not find. I kept missing her booth. So I forgot when I finally got to the con. So I'm like, she's here. I know what booth she's in, but she didn't have the fucking stickers anymore. But she did have a new character. She did like I think the character does have a name, but it was Jiangxi. It's the big titty Jiangxi, like the hopping vampires.
Mhm.
So of course I got that.
I
got
saw your presentation. Don't worry, Manuel.
So yes, so I got some shit of that. And those are the only two things I bought. But I did go around the con, and I was like, oh look. This is what the con looks like. I keep forgetting that not Jones Soda. Wild Bills. There you go.
Yeah.
That exists. If I remembered that, I would get not just to get the cup, but I would go there just to get a lot of unlimited soda. And there was one con, I remember it was Anime California, where like multiple people we like ran out of soda in the room, so we just kept sending people to like fill up like a bunch of cups. Like we would just run downstairs, get it, then put it in a cup, then run back downstairs, get some more, then put it in a different cup, and that was the way we had like some ghetto drinks. But anyway, and that was my Fanime. It was fun. I left. I thought I was leaving the last of all because I stayed kind of late to see Tiffany and Marjorie perform. Which, by the way, I should have said that too. I saw them perform. The trademark their name is. They have an original fucking song that was great, and they also one of their friends made stickers, and I put the stickers on my laptop. So. What do you know? I think Dempop, not trademark, but trademark is Tiffany and Marjorie. Dempop is Tiffany, Angie, and Claire. And Dempop is performing this weekend in 2 different places. Like I think they're performing at Asiyoru, and they're performing at something called Idol Summer or something. I forgot what it's called. But yeah.
Summer Wars.
Anyway, that was my Fanime. So I thought I was the last one leaving, but as I was leaving, one of our roommates misunderstood when her ride was leaving, so she had to spend the night in the hotel. And by the way, I don't mean she stayed an extra night. I mean she literally spent the night in the hotel lobby.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got you when you said that.
So yeah, so I thought my trip was bad. It actually wasn't that bad once I actually left. But I had to wait in the lobby for like 4 or 5 hours. It was kind of awkward, but not as awkward as having to stay until 5 a.m. Anyway, and that was my con. I actually had a lot of fun. Saw a lot of people. I can't wait to go back next year. I can't wait to interview that artist. I got sick. I lost like an entire week of my life basically when I got back. Yesterday was the first day I really was able to do like a lot of my errands. And today I still feel pretty much like shit. So yeah, I'm so behind, and I have another con next week. But yeah,
and
it'll be fun.
Yeah, we're gonna do all this again in exactly 1 month for Anime Expo.
Oh, I don't want to think about that. My liver can't wait.
Manuel, I'm honestly surprised you still have a liver at this point.
Okay, so our theme for anime Matsuri, hentai Matsuri, not anime Matsuri, that con sucks. Our theme for hentai Matsuri is we're gonna get all the liquor store favorites, like beatboxes and like what the fuck are the buzz balls? But to round it out, I went to like I went to this liquor store that I knew had a lot of them. Something I'm gonna say, and it's in a very sketchy neighborhood, so I like put my life on the line to get these. I got a ton of different flavors of MD 2020s. And we're gonna have the true, corner liquor store experience at Hentai Matsuri. We're gonna be so drunk, so sick. Our bathroom's gonna be total. This will be great. I'm excited.
Yeah, I've been fine at least because you saw me in pictures. I'm always wearing a mask when I'm outside, especially at conventions or when I guess inside at conventions. So I'm doing pretty well. I wrote up my article, which is now available on our website. I am working on editing a video, which will either be on the A to J YouTube or on my personal YouTube. I will link it wherever it is if it's up by the time this video is live. If not, I will comment it later.
You can put on the A to J YouTube.
Okay, cool. And then
I'll
work on that.
Put it.
You've always been like the most worried about copyright claims, so I put them on my personal one, and this one has copyright music in it. I've cut out as much of the music as I could and replaced it with alternate clues, but there are still times when I need to hear them speak, which has some of the music playing in the background.
It's not as bad as like the music I play like all the panels I do. It's like, here are the top 10 biggest songs in Japan that I wonder why I get claimed for every one.
I have Queen playing in one of mine, so.
Oh, God damn it. You're just as bad. But yeah, okay. It's funny because I always think about that, like, how would this get claimed? We're like, bro, the panel is literally like the biggest songs of all time in Japan.
Yeah.
Of course those are going to get claimed. Anyways.
Yeah. So I guess we can wrap up. So yes, it's been a great start to the summer convention season. I am looking forward to AX, but I'm also going to see Flow, Old Codex, Grand Rodeo, sorry. And
are they at AX?
Yeah, they're going to be playing the AX like sound capsule.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I wonder if I get tickets to that as press. By I mean A to J because I'm not going. But
if so, I have a ticket to sell because I will fight Manuel for those tickets.
Well, if I get them, I'm just gonna give it to you because I'm not gonna go.
Yeah,
I gotta tell you that right now. Okay. In all fairness, that's not just laziness. I just don't care enough about those artists either.
Yeah.
Not that they're not great. You know what I mean?
Hirokatsu Kamiya, the guy who sang the first opening of One Piece, is also going to be there. So I'm going to see those three. And there's some opening acts I will probably see if I have time.
Oh shit!
What?
Sakurazaka 46 is going?
Yes.
Okay, maybe I will go. But we'll see.
Okay.
Sorry. How did I know about that? They're huge. Anyway,
Manuel, you haven't watched anything. You don't pay attention to any of the news. So I guess what are we doing the rest of this week? We have our gaming stream tomorrow.
Tomorrow we're doing. Hopefully we'll beat Kingdom Hearts. If not, we're gonna get really close to beating it. Thursday we're gonna be opening up some Magic card. Magic right?
Gathering,
yeah. It's the Final Fantasy Magic the Gathering collaboration. We open up those with Hao and myself and Warren. And then Friday's Drink Talk Roll. And then Tuesday we'll be back here and we'll talk about.
Sunday's still on this weekend. It was even on. It was even on Sunday.
It was? It's funny because that day I was sick and I saw your notification and I was kind of just rolling around.
Mm-hmm.
And when I got up to watch, you'd already finished. Like you did like in like 90 minutes or something.
Yeah. I did in like 90 minutes. It was me by myself. I was just going through. Really?
Oh,
now,
that's why
the bot shows up.
I know exactly. We're about to leave, and the bot's like, "Hey, I want to be a bot."
Yeah. So yes, it was me alone. I was just going through, collecting all of the gin that we had missed in like the first half of the game. It's weird that we have basically double the number of streams since we finished the first game. We have not gotten to the first tower of the second game yet, which is wild how much more content there is in this game.
I was thinking about the exact opposite. That like we stopped to go do some side missions for the past 2 streams for Kingdom Hearts, and we're almost done. And we are done, but we're like on the 12th stream at most. And I'm like, damn, is this game that short? It's always been that short.
Well, I mean, our streams are also closer to like an hour and a half, 2 hours. So it's been like 10, 15 hours.
Yeah, and I think ours have all gone over 2 hours. Ours is like closer to 2.5, 3. So I guess that makes sense. But yeah.
So yes, Golden Sunday should be on if How is still ready. We will have more information on that on probably either Friday or Thursday, depending on when How is ready to commit.
Yeah, and then so we're doing all that, and then Tuesday's UPZ. I don't know what the fuck we'll talk about next week. So, do you have a topic in mind?
Nope, not in the slightest, Manuel. But shout out to our patron Ed for supporting us, helping us bring you all this news and content. Support us on
I saw
Patreon.
him. He was cool.
Patreon.com/AJ will be probably underneath Josh right now.
Senor.
Yeah. On that, consider following us on our social media, which will be over my face at the moment, probably. And other than that, just keep watching us if you like us, and comment, subscribe. Good night, everybody.
Good night.